robots, cars, and 80s nostalgia. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little movie franchise. But Hasbro accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction: Michael Bay.
The Transformers franchise has a bit of a rocky reputation, and that's putting it lightly. People seem to enjoy the toys, the shows, the games, and the comics, but the live-action movies? That's another story. What started out being fun, mindless special effects movies quickly became borderline unwatchable.
After The Last Night disappointed at the box office, earning a lot less than the last 3 sequels, it got Paramount thinking, I think audiences are finally catching on to our BS. Maybe it's time we start trying to make a good movie.
Bumblebee is a fresh start for the franchise, serving as a soft reboot/prequel set in the 80s.
Have you ever wanted to know how Bumblebee got his name?
Ooh, yeah.
Have you ever wanted to know how Bumblebee lost his voice?
Sure thing.
Have you ever wanted to know how Bumblebee turned from a capable warrior to a drunk toddler who later on in life pees on government agents without consent?
Yes, please.
Then this movie is just for you.
The movie follows our protagonist, an alien robot who's stranded in a small town on Earth with its memory wiped. An outcast human teen with a dead father discovers and befriends it, and is forced to protect it before it's destroyed by the military.
Wait, I didn't know we were reviewing the Iron Giant.
This pretty much is Iron Giant, but with a Transformers skin on it.
So the movie starts on the Transformers' home planet of Cybertron. We see a war raging between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and the Cybertron scenes are sure to please the fans. They're pretty exciting. They're pretty cool. Except when you get to Earth, there's a chick, she's got a dead dad, dead pappy, and it's real sad.
We get a ton of great appearances from a lot of characters, all sporting their classic G1 designs. Which brings us to one of the more apparent improvements.
Yeah, the overall aesthetics and designs of the Transformers has been completely overhauled, moving away from the overly complicated look of the previous films, and harkening back to their more retro, original designs. You can actually tell them apart now.
This movie's designs are thankfully much more simplified and have a lot more personality.
Bumblebee's car form is a Volkswagen Beetle. Apart from his face, which still looks like a Rocketeer sucking a pacifier, he looks a lot like the original cartoon.
The action scenes look a lot less like Michael Bay filming a bunch of junk being thrown in a garbage disposal. Travis Knight directed this movie, and you may know him from the Laika stop-motion movies, and his animation experience really shines through.
So Bumblebee gets sent to Earth to protect it, but in a battle against the Decepticon, his voice box gets destroyed and his memory gets wiped. So he goes into hiding, and this is where he gets discovered by a teenage girl, Charlie Watson.
And she's played by, who's that chick who voiced Spider-Gwen? Her.
I thought Charlie was pretty likable. It's nice to have a Transformers movie where you actually care about the human for a change. And the whole movie's based around Charlie's friendship with Bumblebee. It's pretty much your standard girl and her car story.
Yeah, except the girl wants to F the car.
I mean, yeah, there were a lot of scenes where there was something a lot more sensual going on than friendship. The chemistry between Charlie and Bumblebee is pretty strong. Sometimes a little bit too strong.
I enjoyed her acting performance. I don't think she was necessarily that well written. It was a very cliche story, but then again, as I'm going to say further on in this review, that is repeated by every character in this film. They're all quite poorly written, I think, and very cliche, with some exceptions.
Yeah, so there are a ton of side plots that really don't go anywhere.
Surprise!
So there's this subplot with the mother and her partner trying to accept Charlie, and also another subplot with like a faux love interest that goes nowhere because she wants to F Bumblebee, and also a subplot with some really cliche high school bullies, and one of them's just like, "Oh, you have a really busted ass car. You should get your dad to buy another one for you." Oh, wait.
Really?
It's so
That's how the joke went?
Yep.
They went with the oh
too.
wait.
It's like a lot of awkward silences.
Yeah.
Oh
Wait. And then, he's not on this earth anymore.
He's dead. Now he's not here for you. He disappointed you as a father because he's dead. Yeah, the film also stars John Cena, who is hands down my absolute favourite actor in this film. While we expect a stereotypical macho army man to be in the film, as they tend to always be in these Transformers movies, and while he can be over the top, his performance is charming and he has some of the best lines. That being said, I have a lot of issues with the writing in this film. The writing can be extremely cliche and cartoonish for some characters. I know some of the one-liners for John Cena were ridiculous, but it's perfect how over the top he did it. We have the typical parents figures in this film that didn't feel like real people at all. I can think of several instances where the parents overreacted to an extreme without any evidence to support why they would react that certain way.
Yeah, they were pretty much one weed brownie away from being Sam Witwicky's parents from the second Transformers movie.
Fly, children! My baby used to have tiny feet. Hey, this car is a talking robot!
I don't think these issues were major enough to stop me from enjoying the movie as a whole. Charlie and Bumblebee's friendship really is the heart and soul of the story, and I just had a lot of fun with it.
And it's just nice to see a Transformers movie where the camera isn't up the girl's butt the whole time. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's a step in the right direction. I give it a Bumblebee plus.
I agree with what you're saying about having a camera up a character's butt. It's good to see a Transformers movie that doesn't have one of the female leads overly sexually portrayed. In fact, the only sexually portrayed characters in this film were the bullies, and it's used to a comedic effect, I'd say. The music was beautiful. I was really happy with the score. Ultimately, while I don't think this is a good film by any stretch, it's certainly a good Transformers film, and I enjoyed the experience immensely. I'm going to give it a Decepticon.